Today I'm going to tell you about a kind of yogurt that I've been making. I've been doing this for probably about a year. Lisa and I have been doing this. And it's a probiotic yogurt. So all yogurts are, made with bacteria. But this takes a specific kind of bacteria that Dr. Bill Davis, the undoctored doctor, recommends. And I guess the only place you can get it is in these tablets called BioGaia. These are for the GI tract, and each of these tablets that come in here comes with like a pack of 30. Each tablet that comes within this foil has like 100 million units, which is not nearly enough to make any meaningful difference. But what Dr. Davis discovered is how you can grind these up, culture them into yogurt, and end up with a product that's really helpful with like literally trillions of colony forming units. I'll show you how to do it. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to crush these tablets. And to do your first batch, you take 10 of these. I'm going to just do one to show you how to do it, but I'm just using the bottom of a glass and onto a cutting board, and you just crunch it. So you do this for 10 of them. I'm only going to do one because I'm just going to add this. Mainly I wouldn't need to do this, but just to show you how to get started. Because you do 10 of these, I'm going to just do one because I'm going to use some of the old yogurt, some of the last batch, as the starter for this next batch. So you start by putting that in along with then about 2 tablespoons of inulin powder. So what this does is it provides some prebiotic fibers for those bacteria to use in order to grow. I mean, getting it exact isn't a huge deal, but I figure why not be precise if you can. So I'm going to take this and I will dump it in with the other existing powder. Then the next step is I have to get some liquid to dissolve both of the bacteria powder as well as the inulin, which is the prebiotic fibers. I used half and half for creating my yogurt, a mix of half and half and cream. That's what I recommend. I guess you can use almond milk and other stuff like that if you have dairy sensitivities, but I really love and recommend both organic half and half and organic cream. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of liquid within this as well. So I guess it's important not to get too much liquid in at first because the inulin will tend to clump. And so the idea here is that I'm going to be dissolving the inulin within this, or at least getting it mixed up within this small batch, just a little bit of half and half. Stir this up and get it so that both the inulin and the probiotic powder is into a little slurry. Just get it so that it's not clumpy and that you have got most of it dissolved in there. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have used more of the tablets because I can get plenty of colony forming units out of the yogurt itself, the yogurt from the last batch. You see how thick this is and how it just, it's thicker than any yogurt you'll buy in the store. But I'm going to just put a couple of small teaspoons full, maybe just a little bit more. So I make sure that I have way more, there's way more in what's in this culture than what was previously in the tablets. So Bill Davis recommends maybe every 10th batch or so putting in another tablet. I probably haven't done that for months. And now I'm going to stir that into the mix so that once I have a mix of 2 tablespoons of half and half, as well as then typically it's going to be just a couple of teaspoons of the previous yogurt mix. Okay, the next step is I want to get a mix of half and half and cream, and you can sort of adjust it to your taste. But I start out with putting in a bunch of organic half and half, I'm going to go for a little over a quart of total mix of the stuff. So top off some of this with some cream. You see this is much thicker. But we're coming from the perspective that fat is not bad. Fat is your friend. And so you see I'm not being super precise in what I'm putting in here. But the goal is to get a volume altogether that's right at about a quart. My next step is really simple. I'm going to take this cream and half mixture and carefully pour it into my other mixing bowl. And then you're just stirring. You're just going like this. And I kind of typically go both ways, around, in and around, for 30 seconds or so, maybe a minute. The main point is that you want to get the bacteria thoroughly mixed in so that each bit of the slurry, each bit of your mix has a bunch of those little bacteria. And so yeah, typically gonna go this way, go that way, just to make sure that it is thoroughly mixed in. Our next step is to pour the liquid into these jars, which is where the yogurt will be cultured. So I'm going to just, one after the other, fill that right up to the top. Likewise with this one. Then once you've done that, you put the lids on. I usually kind of like burp the lids a little bit on these plastic ones to get the air out of here, because you're looking for, I think, anaerobic growth. And then just for these others, I just screw on the lid. The next step is to take the little jars of yogurt to be and put them into a yogurt maker. This is one called MV Power, I guess. I'll send a link. I'll put a link to this in the blog post, so you'll be able to see where you could get one like this. What's really nice about it, having any kind of yogurt maker like this, is that you can maintain the temperature at a really steady level really well, really precisely. Is I'll take these jars and stick them in here. One other way that you get more consistent heating is by taking some water and putting it in there. So this just ensures that the heating element, the water, conducts the heat more up into the higher part of the jar instead of just the bottom. And really, all there is to do now is set this back on the counter and wait.